Namaskar students. Today we will study chapter 7 Directing. Directing refers to the process of instructing, guiding, counseling, motivating and leading people in the organization to achieve its objectives. Here we will be studying three elements of directing: motivation, leadership and communication. First, we'll take features of directing. Directing initiates action. Direction takes place at every level of management. Directing is a continuous process and directing always flows from top to bottom. First element of directing is motivation. Motivation is the process of making subordinates to act in a desired manner to achieve certain organizational goals. To motivate the employees to improve their performance, two types of incentives are given: financial incentives and non-financial incentives. Those incentives which can be expressed in terms of money are called financial incentives, and those incentives which fulfill the psychological and emotional needs of the employees are called non-financial incentives. First, we will take financial incentives. Pay and allowances. It includes basic pay, dearness allowance and other allowances. Bonus, profit sharing, where employees get the share in the profits of the company. Stock option. In this, employees are offered company's shares at lower price than the market price. Commission. Retirement benefits, which includes provident fund, pension, gratuity, etc. And the last is productivity linked wages, which means that if the worker gives high productivity, high wages will be given to him. Next is non-financial incentives. It includes status, organizational climate, which means freedom and good working conditions in the organization, career advancement opportunities, which includes opportunities to employees to improve their skills and talent, job enrichment, which includes greater variety of work content, more autonomy and responsibility, employees recognition program, which means distribution of awards, certificates, etc. to the employees. Employees participation means involving employees in decision making, and the last is employees empowerment. Now we come to Maslow's theory of motivation. According to Maslow, there are 5 types of human needs. Physiological needs, which are also called basic needs, which includes food, water, shelter, sleep, clothing, etc. Next is safety needs, which includes personal security, employment, job security, etc. Third is love and belongingness needs, which includes friendship, affiliation with the organization and the colleagues, etc. Esteem includes self-esteem, respect, status of the employee, and the last is self-actualization needs are those which says that now the employee has reached at that level where he wanted to reach. According to this theory, a satisfied need can no longer motivate a person, and a person moves to the next higher level need only when the lower level need is satisfied. Next, second element of directing is leadership. Leadership is the art or process of influencing people. There are 3 styles of leadership. Number 1, autocratic leadership, in which the leader takes all the decisions himself. Second, democratic leadership style, in which the leader takes the decision after consulting his subordinates. And the last is laissez-faire or free rein, in which the leader only provides the resources and subordinates are free to take their decisions. The last element of directing is communication. Communication is the transfer of information from a sender to a receiver. There are 2 types of communication: formal and informal communication. Now we come to barriers and breakdowns in communication. There are 4 types of barriers: psychological, personal, semantic and organizational barriers. Semantic barriers are those types of barriers which are concerned with problems and obstructions in the process of encoding and decoding of message into words or impressions, like badly expressed message, words with different meanings, faulty translations, unclarified assumptions, technical jargon, etc. Second type of barrier is psychological barriers. These types of barriers are related to the state of mind of both sender and receiver of communication. Few types of such barriers are premature evaluation, lack of attention, loss by transmission, and distrust. Next is organizational barriers, which includes organizational structure, authority, relationships, and working conditions in the organization. Few examples of such barriers are organizational policies, complexity, status, etc. And the last is personal barriers. Personal barriers are those barriers which are related to the attitude of sender and receiver towards each other, like fear of challenge to authority, lack of confidence of superior on his subordinates, unwillingness to communicate, and lack of proper incentives given to the subordinates by the superior. How to overcome barriers? First, clarify the ideas before communication. Be aware of language, tone, and content of message. Ensure proper feedback and always be a good listener. Thank you.